Hey everybody, last year in 2021 I declared it as the year of the router, when I was going to get over my fear of the tool and really put them to their test. So I have the Bosch 1617 EVSPK, kind of full-size router with, in this case, the plunge base, also with the fixed base. It's been a great router for a lot of what I was doing when it came to dovetails and that sort of thing. But to be honest, it's kind of sat there collecting dust for the last 8 to 9 months, as I've often opted to use the cordless DeWalt router, which is really handy to be able to put a battery on there. A little top heavy, a little awkward to use, but generally a very nice router. And I've put together, again, multiple videos on each of these tools. Very, very nice tools. I'll link to the reviews kind of above and to the side. But the DeWalt cordless router, it's missing something. It's not that it's underpowered, maybe a little bit underpowered, but the accessory set for it just isn't that great. It's got a great plunge base that has a really nice smooth mechanism, really blown away by that, but there's not a lot else. And what I'm finding that I need to do more and more is the hardwood edge banding that I put on a lot of cabinets. It's not that easy to trim this horizontally while keeping it balanced. And I have looked at a few jigs to make in order to do that perfectly. When it comes to routing straight lines, the base plate's a little funky, although I do have the Veritas base plate with the little knobs that go on that, which does help a little bit with that. Now, when it comes to that though, dust collection is awful. And I think that that's one thing with routers is that they kick up a lot of dust. The dust collection on the Bosch, not great. If you put on the Oneida base and start to collect that way, which I do have a video on that as well, it's pretty good and it collects a lot of that dust, but it doesn't always work with the accessories that I'm trying to use. And really the Bosch is just a little bit too heavy for most of the work that I do in cabinet making. Now the DeWalt, same sort of story. You can collect pretty decent dust with that Oneida attachment, but it's pretty awkward. It's a little more fragile than I had expected, although I did cover that in the review video. And it's not that easy to get a really nice straight line with this router. So part of my transition, and the reason why this box is right here, and no, there's not a Binford in it, but is going to be surrounding the Festool track. And just to show you, got one right here, as I did just get the TSE 55 cordless track saw. But what's in here is the Festool OF1010R. So it's their newest iteration of their kind of medium-sized router, probably out of the 4 sizes. So it starts with I believe the MFK 700, then goes to the 1010, then the 1400, which is the all-arounder and very similar to the Bosch, and then to the beast that is the 2200. Now I opted for the 1010 for a couple of reasons. One is that it's fairly compact and easy to use. The other one is that the accessory set for it is ideal for cabinet making. So that's why I got the 1010. If I find that I need more power, because I will be selling these 2 routers, just partly because they're collecting dust and to fund this new tool and the accessories. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If I need to get another big router for a router table or something like that, I may look at a fixed base router to attach to that. But without further ado, let's just take a quick look at what's inside the box, and then I'll give you my first impressions on this router compared to these 2. All right, so going handheld, just take a look in here. So we've got first of all, we've got the plug-it cord. So this is not a cordless router, which I will miss, but given that I will be hooking up to the dust extraction almost all the time, I don't think it'll be too bad. And these cords are quite good. I had it on an old ETS sander that I had, no longer have, but I wish I kept. We then have the router itself, and yeah, very different ergonomics on the router with kind of this long handle and then the knob on the side. So it is a plunge base, so it does have that built in. Let's take a look at what else is in here though. We've got some rods. So Festool routers generally come with the rods with the router, because there are multiple accessories that use those rods. And the first of which is the guide stop. So this is what allows the router to mount to the track. Just to show you how that would work. So then the rods would go in there and the rotor would attach. I'll be putting together a number of videos in the future on a number of the accessories for this tool. We then have different chucks. So this looks like 1/4 inch, got a little bit of oil on it. And that must mean that it has the 8mm chuck installed, or collet, sorry, not chucks, but the 8mm collet installed. And that's gonna be one of the things with this router, because it is a smaller router, just over 1,000 watts, so 1010. It doesn't take 1/2 inch router bits. So there's no 1/2 inch collet, it's just 1/4 inch and 8mm, which 8mm, luckily those bits are very available in Canada. So I'll be getting those from Lee Valley. It's got a little chip collector, so this will help direct the dust collection alongside. This looks like, so it's plastic. This is built for kind of guide bushings. And that was one thing that I did read about this router, is just the mechanism for attaching guide bushings. This isn't quite as good as it is on the 1400. And we've got a wrench for changing the bits, got warranty, and we've got the manual, which in the TSE 55 video I mentioned this as well. The Festool manuals are nothing to write home about. There's a lot of words jammed in there, but what is really nice is this guide at the top of the sustainer. So all of the Festool power tools come in these sustainers. And yeah, it has a guide not just on what's in here and also like kind of a map of where things go in the box, but also accessories. And so there are a number of these I'm going to be getting. So this is going to be for some of the edge banding that I do at the top and being able to trim it in horizontal. And actually it takes this accessory, and this accessory to do it properly. I am also going to be getting the LR32 system for those holes. And I probably will be getting the edge guide as well. So the nice thing is with this box, it actually takes, according to this, you can actually put a lot of those accessories inside the box, which is great. So before I wrap up this video, let's just take a quick look at the size comparison among these routers. And I will be doing some direct head-to-head comparisons in a future video, but let's just take a quick look. Okay, so we're not going to be doing anything scientific in this one. We're not even going to be comparing weights, but we have the DeWalt 20-volt cordless with no battery on it right now. But the battery, I tend to use the smaller battery just so it doesn't get super top heavy because it can get a little awkward. But big battery can really make this quite awkward, although it's built really well. There's a nice rubber piece over there. Then I'd say in size, the Festool's not too different from it, and they're actually very similar in power. So I think the DeWalt is the equivalent of around 1,000 watts, maybe a little bit less. Actually, maybe 8 something. I'll have to confirm that when I do the direct comparison. And then the Bosch 1617 EVSPK is just kind of in a league of its own compared to these. It's a big full-size router with the plunge base right here. But then also I have the fixed base with it as well. So size-wise, the Festool is much more close to the DeWalt, but with much better ergonomics. And that's what I really like about this tool. The ergonomics are great, the accessory set is great, the plunge mechanism, when I was playing with it a couple days ago, not quite as smooth as I'd expected. So as far as kind of that first impressions, I think it'll be fine once I use it a little bit, and that's the plan for any sort of review of this unit. It will be after a couple months of use. I will put out some videos before then compared to the other routers that I have, but the actual review of it is going to be well down the line after I get a lot of use. Now the router itself, let's just lock it in. So it is in Imperial, despite being in Canada, because Canada is all over the place with Imperial versus metric. I do want to get a metric sticker to put on there, though. I generally opt with my routers to set the depth based on the actual piece of work or with some other items in there, generally even drill bits to do that. It does not have, on the 1400 with Festool, it has a really nice ratcheting mechanism to change the bits. This one doesn't have it, so it's got a button here. So very similar to a lot of routers as far as changing the bits and changing the collets. And on the R version, so this most recent version of the 1010, or yeah, most recent version of the 1010, they changed the dust port. So it used to be a little oval, and you would have to put the dust extractor into that, squeeze it around it, but with this one, you just very easily fit the 27mm hose in there. And dust collection is supposed to be pretty decent on this one, so I am looking forward to that. So yeah, I think that kind of does it for first impression. So really happy with the build quality of it. Like how solid it is, the ergonomics. There are gonna be a few things that I wish that it had that the 1400 has, and I know I'll probably get a number of comments saying, oh, you should have bought the 1400, but the reality is with hardwood edge banding, this is going to be ideal for that. And the combination of the MFK 700 and the 1400 is just far too expensive. So I think that this is going to get me through the next couple of years really well. If I need a bigger router, well, maybe the 1400 or even 2200 will be in the works down the line. But yeah, pretty happy with it overall. I am looking forward to putting it through its paces. And again, stay tuned for future videos on this router, comparing to the DeWalt, compared to the 1617 EVSPK. And I'll also be highlighting the number, probably the slew of accessories that I will be getting for the 1010 req-f. Thanks for watching. See you in another video soon.